Hey guys, what's up? It's YouTube Tips and Tricks bringing you another video today on thumbnails in the YTA Masterclass. So today, what we're going to be talking about are the thumbnails for your video. If you don't know what a thumbnail is, you need to go back and watch some other videos. But a thumbnail is just the picture that you see either above or below your title on the YouTube homepage or in suggested videos, and it's what people mainly look at when they see your video. So it's very important to fully understand the importance of what makes a great thumbnail. Now, the reason being, the thumbnail is the number one thing that makes people click on your video. Your thumbnail needs to be able to make people stop, and B, make people click. Some of the things that you can do for thumbnails is look at different and or interesting thumbnails. Make a couple different designs. Try to include what you're talking about in the thumbnails. If for example, if we were to look at, let's say, let's go to YouTube real quick. YouTube.com, and then we'll use Mr. Beast as an example. So Mr. Beast, I spent 24 hours in a doomsday bunker. So it's got Mr. Beast, top secret, nice little word to throw in there. Makes people wonder like what was secret in the bunker. Then it's got his face because he's well known, so it attracts people like we went over in the last video. Celebrities attract people to, the video. And then it also has a picture of the actual bunker. You see what looks like a bunker with two, I believe that's the hazmat symbol on the doors. So it just drags people in and makes people want to click on your thumbnail. And make sure it's colorful. Boom, you got the bright yellow doors. And then also use the OPC. Now this is where it's important again to look at other people's channels that are similar to yours and ask yourself what is working for them. Also consider the opponents that are working for any type of viral video. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in your niche. If you notice something's viral and you notice that it has a really great thumbnail, that's great. Keep that in mind. Keep that thumbnail in mind and use that later on to make yourself a better thumbnail. Now, you are going to need obsessive attention to detail. That means examples, the colors of your thumbnail, the symbols on your thumbnail, the contrast of your thumbnail. It's always important to make them a little bit sharper. I've watched quite a few videos on this. A little bit sharper so they stand out more, because the thumbnails that you see aren't all that big ultimately. So take a notepad and study and write down the details. Like, okay, this thumbnail has this celebrity, there's an outline around this person, and there's an X here, or there's a shadow there. Just make notes. Study all these different viral videos, and then you can discover the patterns of what works. Examples for scary videos have black and white, which makes it like night, with darkness and shadows. So that makes like a scary video thumbnail. And another example of a life hack thumbnail have before and afters and are colorful. You want to show the problem and then the solution that they are looking for, and it will pull them into click, which is the most important thing. If you can get somebody to click on your video, your job's done. Now granted, you want to have good content so they stay on your video and they keep watching your video, but if they just click on it, you're like 80% there. Granted, you want them to watch the video, you want them to like, you want them to subscribe, but just clicking on your video is ultimately what gets you paid. Views get you paid. Monetized views. Now, when you first start out as a YouTuber, you're not going to be making money. I myself, I'm still not making money from this. I do this in my spare time. I do it out of the love I have for making YouTube videos, and that's why I do it. So if you want this to work, it's going to take a lot of thinking about what you're going to do. So you got to pick your niche. You got to study thumbnails. It's a lot of work. Just ask yourself not just what worked, but why it worked. So if you're looking at a thumbnail, don't just say, okay, well, this works. Ask why it works. Like I said, break it down. With debunkers, for example, again, you got them right here. You got Mr. Beast's face. Oh, it started. You got Mr. Beast's face over there. You've got the yellow colors. You've got the symbols for, I believe that's like nuclear or something like that. So the symbols and the colors and his face, with his mouth wide open, looking all crazy. That's what draws people into that video. You can see it again. This is 1 million, I think that's $1 million in food, and it's literally him just surrounded by a ton of food. Surprising Mr. Beast with a custom Telsa. So it's literally got his logo from his YouTube page on a Telsa, and it's on there. So, I mean, it's just different ways that you can look at making your thumbnails and what works and what doesn't work. So ultimately, your goal is to not just be copying, but understanding it will lead you in the ability to create your own videos. Create the thing that will get clicks, not alter something to try and get it there, if that makes sense. Next is to exaggerate the motion of the thumbnail. So let's say, for instance, a controversial thumbnail, they hate the idea or what someone said or did, and have to watch and then see, oh, okay, that's what was about, not really this. So you make a controversial video. I can't really come up with any off the top of my head. So let's say dogs are better than cats. So that's a controversial video. There we go. We did it. So you have the reasons that dogs are better than cats. Dogs don't poop in the house. Dogs are a lot more friendly than cats. They're a better companion. They're around you a lot more. They give you more affection and attention. A dog is like, you're like, come here, boy, and they're right there. You can't really say, come here, boy, to a cat, and they come. Some people might have cats that they think the exact opposite. And some people will think, my cat is so much better than dogs. Cats are way better than dogs. And that's why it's a controversial topic, and it would make for a great video of why dogs are better than cats. And people are going to click on that because they're like, what is this guy thinking? Why does he think that? So ultimately, you're stretching the emotion. So what are you portraying? What is the emotion you're going for? How can I make them curious about this? That's all things you have to ask yourself when you're creating videos. So, with me on that video with why are dogs better than cats, I would, of course, have a dog and a cat. And if you wanted to go really simple, like maybe an X on the cat or something like that, or a cancel sign, the symbol for cancel, the circle with the line through it in red. So, just something like that. And, maybe it would draw in views and get a lot of views. You never know. Identify the emotion and amplify it no matter what it is. That's, like I said, with drawing, a circle with a slash through it on a cat. So that would amplify their emotion. However, you do want to make it somewhat believable, not a blatant lie. You can stretch the truth because it will be explained in your video. Make sure your thumbnail looks good on mobile and desktop. In other words, both big and small. Attention follows what's large, so you want to make sure your size proportions are right on both mobile and desktop. Next, don't put a lot of text in your thumbnail. Use more of just keywords because people don't read thumbnails. They just glance at the thumbnails. People just look at thumbnails, they read titles. So understand the littlest change can make a huge difference, like adding lines, emojis, symbols, or other details. If it's like someone smiling with a piece of lettuce in their teeth versus just a normal smile, if it's a humor video, that would be something that makes it a little bit more funny, and it makes the thumbnails seem funny. There are endless combinations of thumbnails. Now, I highly recommend this site here, which is Canva. You can see it. We're on it right now. It's canva.com. And you can literally go to, this is on YouTube thumbnails, I believe, or it was YouTube, YouTube thumbnails. I also made my YouTube little whatchamacallit, the my YouTube picture for my channel on this site. So I really recommend the Canva. That's how you say it. So Canva, I really recommend that. Also, Photoshop is a good idea. It's a great tool, and if you're familiar with it, I suggest go ahead and use it. If you're not familiar with it, I've never used Photoshop. I think that Canva is a lot simpler than Photoshop. Become a pro at Photoshop or Canva. Watch tutorials and learn. Now, really, just it goes back into studying YouTube and learning what components the viral videos have, and what's the emotion, what's the color scheme, what's the little details. So ultimately, guys, that's basically what creating thumbnails is all about. It's about having something that catches someone's eye and keeps them intrigued. Healthy, bright colors. You can see even a few of these basic thumbnails that are just like the template to make a thumbnail. So that's why I really like Canva. It gives you ideas, and then from these templates you can actually come up with your own ideas and make your own thumbnails. The thumbnail for this video I created with Canva, and I really like it. I thought it was a good thumbnail. It's probably one of the best thumbnails I did, which I actually just started using this site today to make my thumbnails and do that. But anyway, guys, like always, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the like on the video, and make sure to follow us to keep in touch with us and stay up with the next videos. I'm trying to do them every day. I'll slack up here and there, and I probably won't put out for a day or two or maybe 3. Just take a little break and have a little, because everybody needs some me time. You can't just constantly work and work and work. And like I said, I'm not even getting paid for this, so I'm doing it because I love y'all and I want you to do good on YouTube, and I want you to be successful. But ultimately, thank you again for watching the video, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.